Brace yourself. It's that time again. Welcome to Unfiltered. Another week. And I want to start off by thanking Tracy Perkins for my guest appearance on Choices last night. It was a very good episode. Gave me a chance to get a little bit about my life story out there, let people see where I'm coming from. Not really where I'm going, because I haven't figured that out myself. See, of course, I came up with a plan with Bruce, and it's gone right out of my head now.
Should I open the door and let it out?
See, what else been going on this week? I set up, did another job for Capitol Productions, set up for Andre Rieu, violinist, huge orchestra. Ended up to be a quick loadout, so I actually got home and I was still on the clock. So got paid for driving back to Manchester, yeah. Yeah, it took about 2 hours to load out, which was real quick.
What kind of stuff did you load out?
Everything. Of course, they didn't have as much as a good big rock show, but plenty of lights, stage pieces.
Now, do they carry their own instruments in?
No, we had all the instruments, grand pianos, everything. Come on,
Cellos, all that stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
It was neat. I was on a lighting crew.
So I've always wondered about that. When musicians go in, do they bring their own instruments in, or are they trucked in with this rest of the stuff?
Most of the stuff I believe is trucked in.
Cool.
But yeah, so that was Monday night. I did that. A lot of fun. I don't know, but yeah. And then of course last night my appearance on Choices was great.
Cool.
A lot of good information got out. I'm gonna start with this because Andrea handed me this, and then we're gonna do crew call after that. Andrea handed me this. I know, Bruce. Sorry, Bruce. I screwed him up again. Andrea handed me this today with a note. Sorry. What it is, it's a $6 check, and it's made out to Cheshire TV as a donation. And if you figure it out, $6 is 50 cents a month times 12. That's what it takes. If every member of the viewing audience sent a check just like this, $6. That's, Lee stated on his appearance on Tracy's show 2 weeks ago that there are about 12,000 cable subscribers. And 12,000 times $6 is $72,000. And that's a great start. If everyone would just send $6 a year, it's not that expensive. This the price of 3 large Dunkin' Donuts coffees a week. I'm sure Dunkin' Donuts can do without that $6. Send it on down to us. And actually, Andrea wrote it down here on the bottom. I can't forget this. She says, I'll challenge anyone to walk in here and match that amount or better it. And all of us here at Unfiltered plan on continuing to do our part and contributing whatever we can. One more. No, I won't. I'll do crew call now, Bruce, all right? If that's okay. I'll just...
What are you doing to Bruce?
He's in there like yanking his hair out and stuff, But yeah, we want to do crew call early. That way, as I talk to these guys, you'll know who I'm talking to. So starting on camera 2, we have a new member. It's Al's little brother, is who it is. He's another legal alien. He came down last week. On camera one, we have Greg here with us again. And on camera three, we have Mike, as usual. And we have Ryan back, floor directing with us, making his last appearance on the show before a big vacation. I got some tips for you later, too, bud. And in the booth, we have Bruce and Andrea. I'm sorry, Bruce. Like,
You're driving me crazy tonight, buddy.
I know. I try and do
we
that
come in
every
here with a plan, and it goes right out the window as soon as your mouth opens. So
You know, that was like 15 minutes ago we came up with that.
I know we stood outside talking about it, trying to get a plan down. That way, at least we had an idea what the beginning was going to be. But
And I forgot.
thank you very much. We appreciate that. Okay.
I do know that next we're gonna talk with Andrea, and she's gonna give us our little NASCAR update for this week. How's things, Andrea?
Oh, you want me now?
If-
You didn't warn me that it was this
If
soon.
it's all right.
It's
Unless we
just-
have, do we have some graphics you can pull up instead?
No, let me just do this while you got me. First things first. We raced last week at Darlington, and we were supposed to have a night race, but again, we were rained out. I swear these guys are going to really start feeling like ducks.
It's night races. is
They're
what it is.
killing us. So, but we did get it in for Sunday, and we had. I'm just going to give you the highlights of who the three top drivers were. They came in: Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin, and Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Now-
I like it.
Rick's happy as a pig in slop because Jimmy Johnson came in behind him, and Rick walked away with money this week.
I want a little money this week, yeah. And I can use it, I'm telling you. This
But,
freelance stuff is not steady enough.
Oh, I know. Now, I'm not going to run down and give you the results of the other guys that we all root for because that's, that would just take forever.
All right.
The other thing is, in the standings right now, I'll give you the first five. Now, of course, Mike's going to be real happy. So is Jane, and so are you. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, and Jeff Burton. So that's really good. And, of course,
Well, that's not really good. I mean, geez,
Well-
what is it with Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson this year? They're like on a tear.
well, I'll tell you what. The Chevrolets are the top three in the winner of the Darlington race. They seem to be able to take a grip when somebody else screws up. And poor Denny, I felt so bad for him because he had that race won, and they had a lug nut dropped twice on the last pit stop.
Right.
So, I mean, that pretty much kicks you right in the seat of the britches.
And he did lead the most laps during the
Yes,
race.
he did. He led, I think it was 179.
Which earned him 5 extra points.
He got 5 extra points for that, so
yeah,
that
that's
was
good.
good. Now, I will tell you this. Tony Stewart came up 1 position, and Dale Jr. unfortunately lost 2. But he lost 2 because the big news this week was they lost 100 points. And unfortunately, the reason they lost 100 points was because somebody messed up. They took I call them spoiler mounts. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but would you say?
It's a mounting bracket.
Okay, mounting brackets. They took the ones that they had used for practice and for testing, and that's the ones they put on. So what I heard on the news was that it was about 2.5 degrees off. Now, 2.5 degrees is a lot.
Well,
And
I mean, not much really, but when it
well,
comes
if
to
you
NASCAR,
start, if you start listening to Tony Stewart's commercial, it says measure twice, cut once.
exactly, yeah.
It's like, hello. But my guy, Martin Truex, he came up 2 spots.
Oh, good.
So, worked out pretty good. But like I said, Junior lost 100 points. His crew chief was suspended for 6 races and fined $100,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big one. Now, they're appealing that. Now, they're not appealing the fact that they got a penalty, but they are appealing that. They said it's way too stiff a penalty that was handed down because it isn't literally written in the rule book about such a thing. So they're
okay.
pretty much kind of interpreting things as they go.
But I mean, that seems like a standard penalty, $100,000 in suspension
It's
and 100 points.
Well, that's a lot. The points and now the suspension, that's been pretty standard for a lot of the crew chiefs this year. But as far as the amount of points and money, that's the biggest I can recall. Um,
Said up front that the COT cars were going to be that way.
yeah, like Bruce said, the COT cars they said are going to be that way. I guess they're going to be under a lot of scrutiny.
Well, they're trying. I mean, they're trying to make the sport safer, and
Right.
which is a great thing.
Now, the higher they have that spoiler, when the way his spoiler was set, it caused him to have a little bit more downforce. So that was good for him.
Right.
It wasn't detrimental to his car the way it was set up.
Yeah.
It was just detrimental to the other drivers, or it would have been had they not seen it.
Right.
Now, the other thing that I wanted to touch on real quick is that, and you'll be happy, is Denny Hamlin's crew, they have replaced 3 of their pit crew members.
Oh, good.
Yes, they did. Denny was really, really ripped afterwards because he said there have been several races that things like this have happened.
Yeah.
And so they replaced 3 of the pit crew.
Great.
Then the final thing I'll hit is that everybody better start watching out for Ryan Newman because his pit crew took first place over Bobby Labonte's pit crew in the pit crew challenges.
Oh, okay.
And in the points, Ryan Newman actually came up 6 positions.
Ooh,
So
yeah,
he's
been
up in-
having some good races lately.
Yes,
too.
he is. So he's
So-
come up a lot, and I think it was 13th in points now. So everybody better hang on to their britches because he's on a tear.
Yep. And I heard Mark Martin added a few more races for this
Yeah,
year too.
he added 3 more races to his season, so he's not going to retire. He keeps saying he is. He's not
doing a
going
lot
to
for a
retire.
retired guy.
He's going to keep one foot in that race car all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. He'll probably die there.
anyways, that's the sum total of it this week.
Well, thank you, Andrea.
Sure.
Another wonderful job,
Well, thank you.
So-
Appreciate it. I love doing it.
and we appreciate it.
Well, glad to do it.
Gives me time just to sit back and gather my thoughts.
All right.
So, thanks. We'll go on to. We'll start with the 70s this week. From Thursday, May 19th, 1977. Rains hit and the region is flooded. So by the time the storm had ended Wednesday night, a total of 2 inches of rain had descended on Keene. And it flooded in all the regular places, the Public Works Director, George Glein, said. It flooded around Water and Church Streets, near Keene State College, flooded parts of Riverside Plaza, Eagle Court and Optical Ave were completely underwater in some places, and traffic had to be rerouted at routes 124 and 101. So, yeah, the flooding isn't a new thing around here. It's been
Every year.
where I grew up on Grove Street. Every single year, the backyard used to flood, and I mean, it was
I grew up on Water Street.
like
You
living.
had to go through the big pool.
Yeah, it's like living on the lake, in the springtime. And on the same page as that, there was a picture with just a caption, and it says, "Surface except for asphalt is complete on the Court Street Bridge over bypass." And that was when the bypass going out along North Keene, under Court Street and over Elm Street. That was all being built in '77. And the same page, it says, "President has power to allow crimes to be committed legally," claims Nixon. See, he wasn't a crook. But listen to this. It says he declared in an interview that was going to be aired that he had inherent power to order burglaries, eavesdropping, and other illegal conduct against American dissidents when he was in the White House. He said, when the president does it, that means it is not legal. And that was from interviews he did with David Frost. And of course, ex-President Ford, at this time Carter was president, And ex-President Ford rejected Nixon's statement on crimes in the president's names, saying that he never had the so-called Houston plan approved by Nixon called for secret harassment of White House enemies by burglaries, warrantless wiretaps, mail surveillance, and other dirty tricks. And the plumbers were an undercover Nixon White House unit assigned to trace the source of Vietnam-era news leaks. And Ford said they had no plan like that when he was in office. Of course, he might have been lying too. But during the same week, another story, Nixon calls enemies list necessary. And in the interview, he defended the so-called enemies list and the use of the White House plumbers as necessary tools in his foreign policy. And he said, I knew that to get the enemy to take us seriously abroad, I had to have enough support at home. They could not feel that they could win in Washington what they could not get on the battlefield. But he said that he didn't know in advance about the plumbers' break-in at the office of Daniel Ellsberg, psychiatrist, but he insisted that it and similar activities are necessary to stem domestic dissent. So, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the government has to watch and make sure that its own people aren't rising up. Although the Declaration of Independence clearly states that we can rise up and slay the government if we so feel that we need to. Here's another one along that same lines. Mandatory flag pledge ruled out. And it said the Massachusetts Supreme Court has ruled a bill requiring public school students to pledge allegiance to the flag every morning is unconstitutional. And it was against the First Amendment. But it was a 5-2 decision. And the court declined to say if the bill would violate constitutional rights of students. And the majority opinion said the bill was unconstitutional largely because of a proposed fine against teachers for refusing to comply with the law. So yeah, I mean, I never saw anything wrong with saying the Pledge of Allegiance, you know? But, oh well. One nation under God or under dog or whatever you say. It's just something you say.
Yeah, to your country.
This one was pretty cool. It says, suit says marijuana laws invade privacy, 1977. From Boston. Massachusetts laws prohibiting possession of small amounts of marijuana for personal use are an unconstitutional invasion of privacy, according to a class action suit that was filed in Massachusetts State Supreme Judicial Court. And the plaintiffs in the suit claimed that personal home use of grass is none of the state's business, which I believe, you know, it's none of anybody's business what I do in my home. But a Boston attorney said he filed the suit on behalf of 53 persons, doctors, lawyers, bureaucrats, and even someone from the State House on the staff of the Senate Ways and Means Committee. All sorts of people. And it was similar to a suit which successfully challenged the constitutionality of Alaska's marijuana laws. However, the Alaska suit won 2 years ago, resulted from an arrest for possession of marijuana. So yeah, 75, Alaska decriminalized marijuana. And I don't know, apparently, yeah.
Why not?
It's not the state's business what you do in your own house,
No.
you know?
Or on your own land.
Or on your own land, yeah. But I don't know. Someday they'll figure it out. It's found some entertainment news from '77. This one I had to pull because it says Monty Python, not just a dead parrot. And it says, some people may think that Monty Python is extinct. In 1977, you hadn't heard a whole lot from him. Extinct, defunct, expired. In short, just as dead as the parrot from the skit. Says 6 members of the team are no longer doing the television series Monty Python's Flying Circus. And it's been 2 years since they pooled their talents for the cheap medieval extravaganza called Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which was a fantastic movie. And they'd all gone off and done stuff on their own. But Terry Gilliam, the lone American in the otherwise solidly British group, acknowledged the other day that he and his distinguished colleagues are indeed at work on another movie. He says, "We're not able to talk about it. We've taken a vow of secrecy. The subject is fairly sensational. Suddenly it will be revealed and it'll be too late to do anything about it." And I believe the movie that they're referring to was either The Meaning of Life or The Life of Brian, which basically told the story of the life of Jesus through
I think it was
Monty
that one. I
Python's
think it was
eyes.
Life of Brian.
Yeah. But they said it is not a Monty Python movie, although he acknowledges he is having some difficulty getting that fact across. So, I don't know. For one thing, it's set in England of the Middle Ages, just like the Holy Grail. And yes, it stars fellow Pythoner Michael Palin as Dennis, the name of Palin's character in Holy Grail. And it was basically the same production team as Holy Grail. And at the end, they say, of course, Terry Jones is eaten by a monster before the credits, so he's hardly in the film. But yeah, one of them was always getting eaten by a monster or. Well, the Holy Grail, they got the killer rabbit, yeah. And I had to take care of him with the holy hand grenade.
That's right.
Right, yeah.
Not quite dead.
I think I'm gonna finally wrap up a story I started back when I first started the 70s stuff. Wednesday, May 18th, 1977, Claudine Longet completes 30-day jail sentence tonight. So she was convicted of shooting Spider Savage, the skier, who was her lover. I shot Spider. I didn't mean to do it, a weeping Miss Longet told deputies as they arrived at the chalet. And he died on the way to the hospital. And it was a week-long trial. And a ballistics test during the week-long trial, a ballistics expert testified that the Luger-style weapons safety catch malfunctioned. And the prosecuting attorney said you still had to pull the trigger regardless of the safety. So, yeah. She did 30 days,
30 days.
just like Paris. But I think I read today that Paris's time's getting cut in half.
Yeah.
Her dog misses her.
My God. Glenn Beck had that dude that from, I think from Arizona that runs the tent camp for prisoners. Have you seen that? They put them out in the middle of a desert in tents
Really?
and make them dig holes or something. I don't know, but yeah, still trying to figure out where they're gonna put her. So, I don't know. It's crazy. She's famous enough. I mean, 3 times. She's been busted 3 times for driving without a license. They should send her up. I mean, that's like felony in this state.
Like a
They should
year.
make her,
So
they should make her follow Paris Hilton's dog, clean up after her.
they should make her do something.
No, I think
I
the
don't know.
news said that they were reducing her sentence for good behavior. But I'm thinking if she's
Yeah.
been busted 3 times, how is that good behavior?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's kind of funny because I was watching, I think it was on Regis and Kelly last week, and they were talking about the fact that Paris Hilton was going to prison and she was going to be issued 2 pairs of underwear per week. And one of them said, well, that's 2 more than what she's used to. So yeah, that's a good one. I don't know whether they can make her wear them or, you know, she'll trade them for cigarettes or whatever. That's nuts. Here's an article I pulled. It says stuntmen take hero role in a new movie, Stunts.
Stuntman?
Yeah, it was a movie called Stunts, and it came out. And I didn't really read it, but I saw that the movie Stunts was basically about Dar Robinson,
Yes.
one of the greatest stuntmen of all times.
Yes.
You know, and I remember growing up as a kid and looking up to guys like that, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
And,
Definitely.
but, you know, the job of stuntman, you know, it never dawned on me as a kid that this is an actual job that
Right.
people do. You can learn to do, you can, I mean, and it doesn't seem like there was a lot of, I mean, I guess there's a lot of physics and math involved in stunt work, but, you know, in the small town of Keene, it's like, a job like that just seems so far away for kids,
Oh yeah, definitely.
you know? But I mean, it's a real legitimate job, and it's a, you know, it's a job that you make a lot of money. A lot of times your career's not all that long, but yeah,
It stinks when you're just limited because of your geographical location.
that's it. That's it. And you know, maybe now with Cheshire TV, we can maybe put together something with some stunts in it or something, you know,
Somebody
some
might
kind of a
get
show.
discovered to see something.
Yeah, yeah, you know, I don't know.
Are you gonna get yourself a stunt double now?
I might. I don't know. I'd probably do my own stunts.
At least to start with,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Till they
'cause I'm-
hurt.
till
Till it hurts, right? Do it till it hurts.
And I know even playing frisbee these days hurts, man.
That's because you're getting old.
Nobody's supposed to know that. I pulled the 10 top network television programs for the week ending May 15th of 1977. And number 1 was High Plains Drifter, the ABC Sunday movie. Number 2 was Laverne and Shirley. Number 3 was MASH. Number 4 was The Iger Sanction, the NBC Monday movie. Number 5 was Father Knows Best Reunion. Number 6 was American Junior Miss. Number 7 was something called Handle with Care. Number 8 was Miss USA. Number 9 was Happy Days. And number 10 was the Norton Bobbitt heavyweight boxing fight back in 1977. So that's it. I mean, boxing was violent. Iger Sanction was a fairly violent movie.
Yeah, well,
High Plains Drifter, that was like one of Clint Eastwood's Italian westerns, right?
yeah.
Where they like shot 1,000 times and never hit anybody.
Never reloaded.
You could die without bleeding, you know, all that kind of stuff. That was great. But that was back when you could tell your kids, you know, it's just a movie. You know, these days you can't tell them that. Oh well, it's time. It does. Oh well. It's time for Mike Blasto Says. How was that, Bruce? Was that cool? Oh, all right.
Watch your
I
mouth.
see. I tried to get him, and he was too busy getting me. All right. This week, Mike Blasto Says. I was talking to one of our more popular former city councilors who really knows about good government and city charters. And he said that our present city charter places a buffer between the city manager and the people. He said that the American people didn't fight a revolution in 1776 to be dictated to by a city manager who isn't even elected by the people in 1977. He went so far as to say it was taxation without representation all over again. He also described Keene's city charter as reading like it came right out of a city manager's handbook. After hearing this, it substantiated what I've been saying about the dictatorial powers of our city manager has. To think this man can actually spend $65,000 on a piece of equipment without authorization, and 2 weeks later get a raise, and yet when some other city employee borrows something like a used air conditioner, the city manager actually fired him. If my speaking out is treason or jeopardizes my business, make the most of it. Well said, Mr. Mayor. Of course, that was back before he became mayor. And I hope you've taken care of the city manager problem. All right. CD review. This week I was pouring through my CDs, and I picked this one. It's called The Heights. Music from the television show The Heights. And if any of you folks my age or a little bit younger. This show was produced by Aaron Spelling back in the late 80s, early 90s. And it was somewhat of a, like a 90210 Melrose Place, but it centered around this group of kids that had a band. And it covered all the different topics, you know, friend against friend, the one guy stealing the other guy's girlfriend, two people writing the same song two different ways, you know.
I want credit for this, you
Yeah.
want credit for that.
It was a great show. It was only on for about one season, and then it was pulled because I don't know, there wasn't much violence in it. You know, it was your basic nighttime soap opera. Probably the most famous song that came off the show was a song called "How Do You Talk to an Angel." It made it big on the pop charts
Yeah, yeah.
for a while. And I still hear it every now and then. You'll hear it on the radio with the classics
Oldies.
and oldies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like us, buddy.
Yeah.
Oldies.
But they did a cover of "Feeling All Right," the old Dave Mason song that I believe Joe Cocker made famous,
Yeah,
right?
Joe Cocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do, most of the songs on here were written by themselves. That was the thing about this show. All the actors actually did all their own music.
Not like the Monkees.
Not like the Monkees, no. They actually wrote their own music. They played their own music. I'm not sure if they ever actually went out on tour with it. But the CD is great. It's got,
I bet you they would have made it. The Monkees went out on tour and made it.
Spinal Tap did too.
Yeah, that's because everybody screamed so loud you couldn't hear the music.
Yeah. But it's a good pop album. It's got some rockin' stuff. It's got some really easy stuff. It's got some very nice love songs on it if you're hanging out with someone you love, you know. But can I name them?
No.
Oh,
I'm talking to Bruce, sorry.
all right.
He's talking
sorry.
about the Monkees and I'm asking him if he can name them.
Oh, yeah. It was Peter Tork,
Yeah,
Mickey
Dolan's.
Dolans, Pete Nesmith,
Yeah.
and
No, Mike Nesmith.
Mike Nesmith, and
Almighty.
Davy Jones.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah.
Good clue, huh?
So anyway, the Heights, music from the Heights. Look for it. Probably the only place you can find it these days is like Turn It Up. That's where I found it
Huh?
in their cheap bin.
They got some good stuff there.
Yeah, yeah. If you want old tunes, you know, the classic stuff,
Obscene,
the stuff that wasn't like mainstream.
One-hit wonders.
Yeah,
Some of them albums are pretty good.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, a great CD. A little bit of everything for everybody. Anyway, give it a listen if you can find it. All right, where am I going now?
I don't know.
Current news, man. Actually, tomorrow is NASCAR Day. Yeah. And most of us here on the crew have bought the NASCAR Day pin.
I was given mine.
And I believe, well, they were $5, right, online, Andrea?
Yeah, since they started, they've been $5, and I think you can even get them someplace other than online. I think they were talking about Home Depot. I'm not sure where else, but I know that you don't necessarily have to go online.
Maybe
Now-
check any place that backs NASCAR.
Probably so. Now, I think this is also the 5th year, if I'm not mistaken, and each year the pin has changed. So
Right.
it's not the same pin every year. They do something just a little bit different.
And all the 100% of the proceeds go to the NASCAR Foundation.
They go to the NASCAR foundations, and the thing is, it started out as the Victory Junction Gang, and it has actually expanded because a lot of the drivers sponsor different charities.
Right.
And so now it's actually expanded. Who
Yeah.
designed it?
It was Peter Max, I think, had something to do with the
Okay,
design,
yeah, Bruce
wasn't
said
it?
he thought it was Peter Max that designed it.
Yeah, that's very cool. But yeah, it doesn't say all of the different benefits that it goes to, but
No, but there
the
is a
NASCAR
lot.
Foundation. There's, yeah, the Victory Junction. I'm sure one of the drivers has a foundation for autism.
Right, Elliot Sadler and Jamie McMurray for autism.
Yeah.
I want to say it's Kenny Schrader, has to do with breast cancer. And
And
let's
now
see.
Ward Burton, I believe, is a wildlife federation, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, Ward Burton has the Wildlife Federation. Newman and Biffle both have to do with the animal foundations.
Yeah.
And the list just goes on and on.
Yeah,
But
it's-
that price has not changed since it started.
Right. I mean,
You
you know,
can't beat it.
at $5 a pin and the number of pins they sell, I mean, it's the same
Oh
thing.
my gosh,
your $6
yes.
check, Andrea.
Oh,
The
it's-
money piles up, and it doesn't cost much.
no,
you
it
know?
doesn't. It
But
doesn't.
People just have to give.
Well, and
You know.
that's another thing,
Yeah.
just think about it.
All right, now I'll go. I completely forgot about that. I looked over and there it was, and I'm like, oh, I better say that because that's tomorrow. NASCAR Day is tomorrow. I've got some local news, and I mean this first one. I've got some stories out of the Sentinel about it. The one here from MSNBC that came off the web, it kind of bugged me. Because the headline says, Bodie Miller's cousin kills cop, then is killed. And I'm trying to figure out exactly why they had to say this guy was Bodie Miller's cousin. The guy's name was Lico Kenny. And if they had just said Lico Kenny kills cop and then is killed, nobody, I don't think, really needed to know that that was Bodie Miller's cousin. And whether it does anything to Bodie Miller's reputation, if he still has one, I don't know. But
Goes along with it.
I guess it was after this guy was a bad egg for a long time, I guess, and he had got pulled over, and apparently something ensued out of it. I didn't really cover it too much because I hate looking at all these people killed, violence. I mean, you can't turn around these days for what you see. You know, somebody hurting somebody else or doing something awful. And even a passerby came to the rescue of the cop and was actually the one that shot this Lico Kenny guy. So what does the Sentinel run? An article that says citizen shooter had his own run-ins with the law. The fact that he wasn't always an upstanding citizen. But it said a man jumped to the aid of a shot police officer in Franconia Friday. Offered a very different response several years ago to a pair of New Hampshire troopers investigating him on a criminal charge in 1997. The man told the troopers that he'd kill him if he wanted him dead. He said, I know you wear vests, so I would put it right between your eyes. But apparently he came to the aid of the fallen officer, which you have to commend him for that. People do change. But I don't know. I didn't think MSNBC had to point out the fact that it was Bodie Miller's cousin. I don't think it had anything to do with it. Anyway, this one, I heard this the other day, and I could not believe it, from Japan. And maybe some of you people saw this. It says a teenage boy carrying a severed head walked into a Japanese police station Tuesday, said he killed his mother. Took her head to the police station. Yeah. That's the latest in a series of grisly dismemberments that have horrified the nation that's been renowned for its low crime rate. He was a 17-year-old, and he led the officers to his house and pointed out his headless mother on her futon mattress and just said, it's in here. He told the police he beheaded his mother on the eve of her 47th birthday while she slept and added it didn't matter who I killed. Japan's long prided itself for safe streets and low incidence of violent crime, but the latest killing triggered soul searching about what some worry is a disturbing new trend. So, is that weird, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you pride yourself on being a safe country, you know? It's like, and it catches up to you. The world catches up, yeah. I'm not going to do that one. We're getting down under 20 minutes. This one either. Drivers aren't cutting back on gas usage. Of course not, because rich people can afford to drive. And the only way to stop them from driving is to actually not give them any gas. Like I said last week, you know, put the ban, you know, close gas stations 1 day a week, and people will drive less. Speaking of driving, tonight's Sentinels get the detours.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the roundabout project is starting. Yes, indeed.
So look like a ball?
No, not really. It's the best way to bypass downtown is going to be Winchester Street to Ralston and Emerald, or the bypass, or the other end of Ave will be Optical Ave, Eastern Ave,
Yeah.
South Lincoln Street, back up to Roxbury Street.
Keep going, come up with the,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, use detours around town are common sense. You've probably been using them for years just to avoid downtown.
Yep.
But yeah, use the same detours you use to avoid downtown. Getting to downtown, Water Street into downtown, Marlborough Street to Grove Street is another one to Water Street. And the west side of town is gonna, it looks like it's gonna use Emerald Street, Ralston Street to Winchester Street. So, you know, there's a ton of signs, and it looks like they're color coded this year, like little red blocks and blue blocks. I mean, kind of like going skiing.
Yeah.
Find the right trail and follow the color.
Don't follow the black ash.
But it says it's scheduled to start Wednesday, May 23rd. Projected completion date is November 1st, which it'll probably be like March 1st of next year. Average daily traffic count through the intersection is about 2,400 cars. It's budgeted for $4.19 million. $3.84 million have been spent already. It's going to be 180 feet in diameter. And it's going to be 2 lanes. So 180 feet. There's barely going to be enough room to play Frisbee in the middle. I'll have to go measure the one at the hospital and see what that is. Because I like driving around that. I'll do a couple laps every time I go down by there.
Did you get lost going home from the hostel?
I did. I think I made a wrong turn because I got dizzy going around the roundabout. And
I used to do that around
you
Central
know,
Square.
people used to do that all the time around Central Square. I spent a whole day just cruising around Central Square one day.
Only cost you 20.
Just for the heck of it.
$5 for gas. back
Yeah,
then.
yeah. I did like the 500 lapper. I
you
don't
win?
know. No. No, I lost. That one I'll save. Funny thing, man, because this is nothing. It's this barrel. It's this barrel, man, down here. Sorry. It's the barrel. No, we don't need to change it. It'll last another 15 minutes. I just won't move the chair as much.
Please.
With people complaining about laws, you know, the seatbelt law, you know, worrying about income from fines and stuff. I found some laws. These are actual laws that are on the books. And I pulled New Hampshire, I pulled Massachusetts, I pulled Canada and Mexico. And these are real laws, whether they just never took them off the books or what. But apparently in New Hampshire, you may not tap your feet nod your head, or in any way keep time to the music in a tavern, restaurant, or cafe.
Arrest me.
Arrest everybody. The prisons would be full. You know, you can't walk into a bar. At least a dozen people aren't tapping their feet or doing something. You know? Man, yep, arrest them all. I don't know what the fine would be. It's also considered an offense to check into a hotel under an assumed name. So no aliases, none of the, hello, I'm Art Deco, Doesn't work against the law. And here's one that probably from the 1700s, when religion was actually running the government, much like it is today. On Sundays, citizens may not relieve themselves while looking up. Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't relieve yourself looking up anyway. You should be looking down at where you're aiming. Exactly.
You're wearing your Sunday go-to-meeting shoes. You don't want to soil them up.
But it's a law, And for all you people that mow your lawns on Sundays, it is still a law on the books. You may not run machinery on Sundays. So all you guys that the wife nags, tell them, sorry, can't mow the lawn on Sunday. It's a law. And
Can I have
even
a copy of that one?
even cities. In Claremont, it's illegal in a cemetery to get drunk, picnic, enter at night, or enter if you're under 10 years old by yourself into a cemetery in Claremont. Those are all illegal.
You can't get drunk by yourself.
Man, I used to get drunk a ton in the cemeteries here in Keene when I was a kid.
When you were
Oh,
10?
man.
As long as you got company.
Not in Claremont, though. But yeah. And this is another one I found.
But if you're in a cemetery, are you really alone?
Good point, Bruce. Good point. But apparently you can't, you can't picnic, you can't get drunk. So,
It's a prime picnic spot.
oh well. I know a lot of people that picnic in cemeteries, yeah.
Yeah, they're cool on a warm day.
Nice romantic spot for you and your honey to go spread a blanket. But apparently it must have been a problem because they made a law. So, and in the White Mountain National Forest, if a person is caught raking the beaches, picking up litter, hauling away trash, building a bench for the park, or many other kinds of things without a permit, he or she may be fined $150 for maintaining a national forest without permission.
Wow.
So yeah, don't try to help out the National Park Service.
Sounds like a vendetta law.
It's stupid laws, and
Yeah.
probably something from years ago.
This guy against this guy, yeah, they'll fix your butt.
Yeah. All right. Let me do a few from Massachusetts, then I'll move on to my what's going on around town. In Massachusetts, it's illegal to give beer to hospital patients. Yeah. And shooting ranges may not set up targets that resemble human beings. Here's a good one. In case you ever go to a funeral in Massachusetts, at a wake, mourners may eat no more than 3 sandwiches. It's a law. You can look them up.
I broke that.
Here's an old ordinance in Massachusetts declares goatees illegal unless you first pay a special license fee for the privilege of wearing one in public.
Good thing I shared
Imagine
that.
that. And all men must carry a rifle to church on Sunday in Massachusetts. It's a law. Yet hunting on Sundays is prohibited. And it's illegal to go to bed in Massachusetts without first having a full bath. Technically. Couple more. No gorilla is allowed in the back seat of any car in Massachusetts. So make sure your gorilla rides in the front.
Isn't that supposed to be the chauffeur?
And apparently it must have come up at some point. That's the crazy thing is people just didn't go, hey, let's make a law against gorillas in the back seat. Somebody must have put a gorilla in the back seat first. Oh, bullets may not be used as currency. You know? And alcoholic drink specials are illegal in Massachusetts. There's like no happy hours or anything. And this one makes sense. Tomatoes may not be used in the production of clam chowder.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Because that's a New York thing, you know?
That's right.
But yeah, that's kind of crazy. All right. Let me whip through my... Actually, let me talk about this real quick. Because last weekend, Bruce and Andrea and I watched the movie Valiant. It was the little Disney cartoon about the World War II messenger pigeons. Cute movie and funny. But at the end, it mentioned a certain military medal that's given to animals. It's called the Dickin Medal. And it's given for gallantry. It's been awarded 60 times as of October 2006. It was awarded 54 times between 1943 and 1949 to 32 pigeons, 18 dogs, 3 horses, and 1 cat to acknowledge actions during the Second World War. You gotta hear this. This is unreal.
I want to know what the cat did.
All
What
right.
did the cat do?
Well, let me just say that the first time it was awarded, it went to a messenger pigeon that flew 120 miles from a crashed bomber to deliver an SOS message. That was in 1943, and his name was Winky. The ship's cat was Simon. He was a ship's cat on the HMS Amethyst during the Yangtze incident, and he was noted for surviving injuries from a cannon shell, raising morale, and killing off a rat infestation during the incident. And get this, he had his rank raised to able seaman and awarded a campaign medal. Yeah, because he did his job. There was one in 2003, some modern winners. In 2003, there was Sam, a Royal Army Veterinary Corps dog serving with the Royal Canadian Regiment in Bosnia for separately disarming a gunman and later holding back a hostile crowd while guarding a refugee compound until reinforcements arrived.
Now that's worth a medal.
I mean, if it's a dog, for God's
Yeah,
sakes,
it's not
yeah.
a rat.
You also had that one dog that was the only official POW animal listed.
Yes. Yeah, that was Judy, and it doesn't say that it was a dog, but it just says 1946, Judy, the only animal to have been officially registered as a Japanese prisoner of war.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see it for dogs.
I'm wondering if they ate him or her. I don't know. Or threatened to eat her.
Teriyaki sticks, you mean?
Talk, sign the papers.
I don't know. I don't know if they were allowed to eat the POWs back then.
Probably not. That's got to be against Geneva. And then there was a couple in 2002 for guide dogs and rescue dogs that helped out with the 9/11 stuff. So it's called the Dickin Medal, and it's really interesting if you search it on Google or whatever. All right, I've got my what's coming up this weekend in Keene. This weekend at the Northfield Drive-In, Spider-Man 3 and Blades of Glory. And it is drive-in season again, yeah. Drive-in's great, man. Key Cinemas, Invisible, Next, Spider-Man 3, Georgia Rule, Delta Farce, Shrek the Third, and Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End is coming the 20th. I couldn't tell if it was Shrek the Third or Pirates that was starting on May 24th. But it's Pirates coming on May 24th? Okay, so everything else is playing, and May 24th, look for Pirates. Should be very good. At the Colonial Theater, Friday, May 18th, Saturday, May 19th at 8 p.m. Raylan Moore Opera presents Tosca. It's a Puccini or something.
Something.
It's an opera.
Italian.
Yeah, it's Italian hardcore.
I still love
And on Sunday, May 20th at 2 p.m. They're also playing. Thursday, May 24th at 8 p.m. John Hyatt at the Colonial. He's very good. Excellent songwriter, singer.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, yes, I think I remember.
Yeah, you've heard of him. May 19th at McHugh's. Dance to the music of the Tomfoolery Band.
Ah.
Good band, yeah. And May 19th at Gino's Bar and Grill is a band called Chance of Rain. And tonight was actually the very first night Gino's Bar and Grill up on Court Street is Thursday nights. They're starting bike night. Starting at 5 o'clock to close. Harley riders, any motorcycle riders, meet down there. You'll go out on a cruise, then come back for drinks and talk and fun. Gino's has karaoke Wednesdays and Friday nights, and they have Latin night on Thursday. And if you want to call for information, it's 357-1872. And that's what I've got for going-ons this weekend. I was going to talk about a little place to go for fun. A nice little picnic area if you go up Route 5 in Vermont between Rockingham and Springfield. There's a little place called Herrick's Cove.
It's not a cemetery, is it?
It's not a cemetery. No, it's a nice picnic area right on the river. There's a beautiful boat landing, nice fields for frisbee or football. Just a wonderful little area down on the point. Very nice. All right, I've got another minute or so. I want to read a couple of these.
Wonderful.
I'll read this one. On the average, people spend more than 5 years of their lives dreaming. That's right. The average American makes about 6 trips to the bathroom every day, and that's about 2.5 years of your life down the drain.
Wasn't Elvis's a little longer?
The average American spends 6 months at red lights through their life. Imagine that. There are more than 1,000 chemicals in a cup of coffee, and of these 1,000 chemicals, only 26 have been tested, and half of them cause cancer. The first toilet ever seen on TV was on Leave It to Beaver. And only 1/3 of all Gilligan's Island episodes were about getting off the island. What do we got, 10? I want to thank my sponsors, Mom's Tattoo, Gemini Screen Print, everybody here at Cheshire TV, all the viewers, my great crew. Till next week, peace.